But to the chaos in the coalition today. Well, Opposition Leader Sussan Ley, she's been the scapegoat, but she's not actually the leader who most stuffed up and caused this, which could in fact lead to a split between the Liberals and the Nationals, this time for good, or at least until the next election. Sussan Ley is in the gun after three of her shadow cabinet ministers had to resign for breaking rank last night, breaking cabinet solidarity, and voting in the Senate against new laws giving the Albanese government extraordinary new powers to ban hate groups without even a court process. Now, the Shadow Cabinet had decided to back these laws, but Shadow Ministers Bridget McKenzie, Ross Cadell and Susan McDonald refused. And the convention is that you cannot break cabinet solidarity and keep your job. And they knew they'd most likely have to pay that price.
I am more than willing to take my medicine should it be the case, because I don't want to blow things up.
But I'm very aware of the conventions of Parliament, and I will be doing what I've always done, is trying to do my very best to conduct my career here with integrity.
Now, I think Ley would have done better refusing to accept the resignations of those three rebels, especially because her leadership team now seems a rabble and she has lost even more talent from her front bench. But I don't know, I guess she felt that she'd be seen as weak, including by many Liberal MPs, if she didn't punish the rebels. But she now looks hapless, now that she has. So Ley is in strife when she's already struggling in the polls. Big trouble. But here's the bottom line. All these rebels are in fact members of the Nationals. So the focus should be most on the Nationals leader, David Littleproud, whose party has disintegrated under his leadership. It's been astonishing to watch. I mean, first Littleproud had MP Andrew Gee quit the party to sit as an independent. Then Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price quit the party to be a Liberal. And even worse, Littleproud treated headline magnate Barnaby Joyce, the former Deputy Prime Minister, as unwanted trash, almost forcing Joyce to now join Pauline Hanson's One Nation. What an own goal that turned out to be for Littleproud, because Joyce has since given One Nation more depth and credibility, helping it to soar in the polls. News poll this week said One Nation was now more popular than the coalition. Well, that of course has caused Nationals politicians to panic, a lot of Liberals as well. But Nationals in particular knowing if they don't stand for the conservative principles, they will be decimated by One Nation at the next poll. Well, in fact, Joyce on this show last night, as you may have seen, confirmed that another Nationals MP, Colin Boyce, had been considering joining him at One Nation. And now these three rebel senators have quit as frontbenchers after voting against the Shadow Cabinet line. Influential backbencher Matt Canavan, who's the only other National in the Senate, also voted no, as he also explained on the show last night. So, boy, it is Littleproud who most created this mess, who's most unable to get discipline over his team, and has been unable to work out some deal here with Ley to save the coalition, or to hold back One Nation. Yet Ley's enemies in the Liberal Party are going to snipe at her. But I've got to ask, which of Ley's leadership rivals would have done better? Andrew Hastie backtracked and actually voted for these laws that the Nationals rebels oppose. While Shadow Defence spokesman Angus Taylor, the other main rival, he was conveniently absent for the vote. So who knows what's going to happen next? I mean, will the Nationals now figure that the best way for them to hang together as a party is to split with the Liberals? But this time for good. They're holding a party meeting this evening, and I suspect that is topic number one. What a lucky turnaround for Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. He'd been savaged for not tackling Jew hatred until it was too late, for rejecting any royal commission into the Bondi massacre until it was too hot, and then pushing for sinister new laws against free speech until forced to drop them. But he's the one that now ends up crowing over the coalition disaster. And yes, Sussan Ley will pay the price. but it's Little Proud who broke most of the china.